Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Happy International Women's Day. There should be a day for every single person on this earth, but it is a day that I appreciate to look back at the women that have kind of forged the way for us. But I am not going to share who my inspiration is. If you want to find out, and I swear I shared more there than I did ever on my own live stream, but if you want to find out who my inspiration was, please go check out Prairie Life. Karen did a special on Saturday in honor for today. So if you guys are interested in catching that, maybe one of my moderators could drop that link in there. I think I have it in the description below as well. My guest today's channel link is also in the description below in case you want to find that. Oh, so yeah, I put a little picture up there for International Women's Day. Yeah, flashy. One of the things I want to see if it's working, I tried something new. I thought, you know what? Some of the emojis that I have for my channel members maybe aren't maybe the best or particularly necessary. So I came up with a new emoji. And for those that follow the channel and everything that goes along with it, you're going to completely understand why I picked this. Can my channel members figure out which is the new emoji and share that in the live stream with everyone, please? Hello, Nomadic Rev, Van Life Rocks, Van Life Adventures, a whole bunch of V's all in a row. Hello, Ava and Mellow Nomadic Adventures. Paula Knight, thank you so much for being here. Call me V, TGIF. Oh, yeah, you guys got it. Thank you, Erin, for popping in. So, I don't know how well you guys can see, but this is my new emoji, my badge. I thought, you know what, badge is just as much of this channel as I am. So I made a badge emoji. There you go, buddy. Oh, look at that. I love seeing all the blue in the chat. That is so perfect. So perfect. And one of the reasons that it's really great to have the badge emoji is badge has been really helping me a lot lately. Every Wednesday, we are doing a special where it's like, who the hell is badge bringing now? He knows a lot of nomadic YouTubers. He's helped them out, and now he's calling on them to come and help me, which really touches my heart. So I honestly do not know who is coming on Wednesday. And if you guys didn't catch last Wednesday's, the first one we did, Chrome with Van City Van Life is here. I was completely floored, had no idea that that was going to happen, and I'm excited. But Badge elevated it a step farther. Badge said, you know what, this Saturday, I'm going to bring a bunch of my friends on all at once, and we're going to have them up on the panel. So again, we're doing it like before. I've set up the broadcast studio. I send the link to Badge, and then he forwards it to whoever's coming on the live stream with us. And again, I don't know who any of these people coming on are. I don't know how big or small their channel is. I don't know if they're boys or girls, if they're single or couples. I know nothing. The only connection I definitely have with them is Badge. So that's going to be a lot of fun too. Yeah. And I think I'm going to pull back on some of those. I'm going to cut back on the moose milk. I think I'm just a little bit too old for doing that every Saturday night. Hello, Patty Mitchell. Shevna, thank you so much for being here. No Mock Experience is here. 30 and a Wake Up is here. Lisa, Van Life Gina. Oh my goodness, there's so many amazing people. Oh, what's this? Karen with Prairie Life Badge. Everyone needs one. He does epic shit. That's right. And we're going to give him a little bit of epic shit, aren't we, Karen? Let me just zip on down. There we go. Thank you so much for that, Karen. It's greatly appreciated. We have 55 people in the house. Not bad for a Monday night. Pretty good. Yes, Paula and I, yay to Women's Day. Absolutely. Renee, 50, 55 now in the house. That is so wonderful. Lucky Chow 99, welcome. Wow. Okay, so you guys, I am super excited to introduce you to Tim. Tim's channel is MoBangFoYoBucks. And for the longest time, I kept screwing up saying that name. I don't know why. It's pretty straightforward. But I remember when I first started live streaming, it didn't take much for me to trip up over my words, and I always got that wrong. But it's been a lot of fun watching his channel and learning so much about him. And he shares so many different things on his channel, from things in his childhood and all throughout life to, you know, teaching those lessons on being consistent. Being consistent is something that's always been very important throughout his lifetime. And I mean, he shows us about budgeting, his minivan conversion, which I don't know how this man finds the room that he does. He's brilliant. He does DoorDash now. Even though he's retired, he's literally a workaholic, but he has some really great information on how that works and why it's beneficial with van life. And it actually helps open up opportunities for people that want to try this lifestyle. There's also product reviews. Today I binge watched The Lazy Man cooking. I was like, I am all about anything easy for cooking. And he's got a lot of simple recipes that you can pretty much do in one dish. And again, for van life, isn't that ideal? So, hello, Charapart, Victoria May, Mayhem RV, Megan with Going Green Mom. Thank you guys for being here. I'm just going to bring up Tim, and we're gonna talk a little bit about his channel, and we're going to get to know a little bit about who he is. And I'm so honored to be able to share that with you guys. Hello.
Hi. Hi, everyone.
How are you?
Good, and fine. How are you?
I'm good. You know, I was just thinking about what you and I were talking about before the live stream, that darn Ray making us all emotional before our live stream.
Just right. When it brings the mother into the picture, just tear you to my eye, you know?
I know. It's like, is my makeup okay, Tim?
You look great. You look great.
Thanks. So, Tim, what even prompted you to start your YouTube channel?
Well, before I retire, I have a bunch of kids at work I call work kids, right? And, you know, say, so Tim, what you going to do after you retire? Say, I'm going to travel. And say, oh, you need a YouTube channel so we can follow you. Says, okay. So I started. So when I first started, I got 5 kids. Like, I'm all happy. And then all of a sudden I get to 50. You're like, oh, okay, somebody liked my video. So I mean, the rest is history, you know.
Were you expecting it to grow as much as it has?
No, I don't. I mean, I'm kind of scared that it grow too big. You know, I like to keep it personal. If anybody will ever watch my vlog, I answer every comment anybody put in there. And a lot of time people put comment, ask question, how do I do this? And that's how it turned into another video, because they want to know something. Okay, let me go try this out and see if it can help them out.
Well, that's so important, to listen to the things that they want and being right there to provide that for them.
Right.
Yeah.
And
so it's been, like, when did you start it? 2019?
Yeah, right. I retired in September 2019. So I start my channel from there, but it's just random video. And then you probably watch my life story, you know, like the kid want to know, okay, why don't you write a book? Like, I don't have time to write a book. I'm going to do YouTube, you know, every day at work. I always kind of sneak on my break, do a little video here and there, and then just make a serial, just keep me busy. But because back then, I have injury on my eye, so I'm not allowed to do anything. So I'm kind of like show my face to work and be there. So I'm not really doing anything. So like, okay, I'm going to use this time to do something, you know. Plus, it's kind of like a selfish reason also, you know, because I have 2 boys, they like in their 20s, but none of them had any girlfriend. Like, I'd like to have grandkids someday, but none of them would start anything. So like, maybe I should leave something behind in case I never make it until they come along.
That is a wonderful idea. That's like leaving your legacy for them.
Well, I'm the first generation in this country. Because, you know, I came to this country in 1979 as a boat people. I don't know if anybody remember that, because a bunch of Vietnamese, after we lose the war, communists came in. So a lot of people fled the country. So we came over here by boat. And there's about over 1 million people try to escape the country by boat, and half of them don't make it. You know, it was a
Yeah.
risk that we had to take.
Yeah. Well, I know in one of your videos too, you talked a lot, and now I see why you're leaving a video as like a legacy. Is you talked a lot about being an only child, especially in your culture. There's so much pressure to carry on the family name, right?
Right. So that's why it's like it's and Asian parent have very high expectation for the child. So
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of things of my failure because they push me too hard, and and I can't achieve it, and I feel like a failure. But then
Mm-hmm.
I never give up. I'm like, I have to find another way to you know zigzag through this life. And
Yeah.
then I finally figured it out.
And you have done a lot of stuff in your life. I think a lot of people have no idea that you have a military background.
Yes. Well, it didn't come naturally because of all my failure in my school, my life, my romance, and like you go to school, you can focus, and like this is sucks. And then after 3 years living with your parent, you're not, progress. It's like, man, I can't face them. So I'm like, I'm gonna join the Air Force and get away and figure something out. And also because
Mm-hmm.
the Air Force have a program called GI Bill. So once you serve a certain number of years, and then you get the money to go to college after you get out. It's a great deal, and they train you a job. And I don't know if you noticed that they trained me to become an aircraft mechanic. So it's a
Oh, like
trade that
Badge. Badge did that stuff
yep,
too.
I love that. Well, as a young kid, I always want to fly an airplane, but with this, not gonna happen. So I told a recruiter, "Hey, get me as close to that aircraft as possible." I say, "Sure, I give you a hydraulic mechanic job." But by the way, that's a shadier job the Air Force has. Like, nobody wanted. He gave it to me. That bastard, he gave it to me. Nasty job.
Oh my goodness. You
But
talked about your eye. I'm not really sure if everybody knows what you're referring to.
well, people with thick glasses have a tendency to have a retina detachment. So in the eye, you have a eye outside, and then you a pocket of fluid inside. It's a bag, and then if you have a weird shape, that bag eventually detached from the eye socket. That's how you have retina detached, and then you can go blind with it. Which what happened? Well, it's my fault too. 'Cause I wait too long before it get fixed. So as soon you have a like your vision, all of a sudden it's look like a shear current drop. That's a sign
Yeah.
of retina detachment. You got to go to the emergency room and get them to fix it right away. Otherwise, you might go blind.
But you're still allowed to drive. You still have full vision in the other eye, correct?
Yes, but right now the DMV require me every 2 years to go back and do a driving test.
Yeah. So I guess
And
now
also,
really is the time to hit the road.
that's why the urgency. That's why I say I hit and run. 'Cause that's my bucket list. It's
That's right. That whole
40.
series of your trip, hit and run. At first, I was like, "Oh no, what happened?"
Well, I mean, after I finish that, then I will do a slow down each state, a longer travel. But as long as I get to that bragging right, I hit all 48 capital and 48 state, then it's good.
So that is your goal. All of the Lower Mainland.
Yes,
Awesome. How many have you hit so far?
4. So this time I'm planning on 10. I'm gonna plan 3 weeks, so it should be about 10.
Mm-hmm. Good. Good, good. And are you you've done a lot of videos on the DoorDash because even though you're retired, you still work. You're just one of those people that'll never quit working.
Well, you know how like when I watch a YouTube channel, people like, how do I find work as a nomad? They're like, I see Instacart, I see all these work near the city. If you're a nomad, you take about a couple weeks, go in the city, do a little bit of work, and go back to live whatever you want, earn some cash, and go back out. It's easy.
Yeah.
No experience requirement. So that's why I do the just to show people like, hey, you can do this. It's not that hard. And you can
Well,
do your camper or minivan, you know.
yeah. You are so good at explaining it and taking the fear out of it. Like, you show us exactly what all the apps look like, how they work, the process. Like, you're so open and honest about everything. It's like, all of a sudden, I'm like, well, maybe that is something I could look at down the road that I would have never thought I could do.
Yeah, I think they have it in daughters in Canada too, right?
Yeah, it depends on
Yeah,
what community you're in, but yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
I mean, there's a way, there's a will, there's a will, there's a way. You find a way to make money. People just don't want to do it, or they're too afraid to get out of their comfort zone. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I know one of the things you stress, and I think your whole channel and just your being is about paying it forward. Where does that come from for you?
Well, when I first came here as a 15 years old, I don't speak a word of English, right? So it's a struggle to go to school. And then
Mm-hmm.
in my neighborhood, there's this old retired lady, you know. She saw me walk by, and then I guess back then I didn't know she needs some company, and say, and she think that she knew I don't speak English. So I was like, come every day, I teach you how to read, and she take her favorite book and let me read her book, like, and I appreciate that. And now that I think back, like, people along the way your life, you do things. There's people help you, but you never notice. But now you get to a point in my life that I'm comfortable. I'm sad. It's time to pay back, to pay forward. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
people, I do that for other people, and they think later in their life they will pay forward to other people.
Yeah. Yeah. So you have your minivan, you've built it out. Are you going to travel with your wife in there, or are these trips on your
Oh,
own?
no, no, no. The wife don't want to have anything to do with it.
She's more of a stay-at-home lady.
No, she want to travel in style, in hotel and all that stuff. Like, and she's still working. So for
Oh,
another 2-3 years, say, but with this, like, I might not have 2-3 years. What if I go blind tomorrow? Because I went through a dark period when I first go blind,
mm-hmm.
and then I have weird thought, like, if I'm blind, I just might as well kill myself. Why? I don't. I'm very self independent person, and if I can't do things for myself, why even exist? So it's crazy thought, but that's okay. That's why I need to do stuff that I want to do. Cause by the way, when I was in the military, because I work on a tanker. I don't know if you know what a tanker is. It's an airplane that fly in the sky that can fuel a fighter jet without the fighter ever had to land. They keep flying and flying. As long as a tanker follow them, they can fly all the way over to the other side of the world. So that's what a
Really?
tanker is. Yes. So every summer, being an Air National Guard, we get to detail to go to Europe for like 3 weeks to support the mission, the NATO mission over there. So we go over there, but NATO fighter pilot, they don't fly on weekend. They don't fly before 6 a.m. and they have to land before 6 p.m. And you know what we do after we done work in Europe? We go party, we go shopping.
Oh, so things haven't changed.
Yeah, it's a nice gig, and that's why I told a lot of kids, like, join the answer, man. You get to go places.
Yeah, I get to
It's
see the
pretty neat
world.
gig, and at the same time, I'm building up a retirement through the Air National Guard, and I work as
Hmm.
a government employee also. So it's a
Yeah, you were
win-win.
a mail carrier for how many years?
I was a mail carrier, not by choice. 'Cause remember, I had GI Bill. I came back. I was supposed to go to college to become civil engineering, but my wife was working at that time. But the county that she worked for go bankrupt, and she get a notice that 6 months you're gonna lose your job. And then yes, so when I came back to California, I took the post office test just to see if I test, and I got
Hmm.
like 85%. Back then, being a mail carrier, you had to like 100% or 9% in order to get hired. I just took it to see if I passed the test, and then I was in school at that time, and the wife notice came 6 months, and then those people call me, say, "Hey Tim, we got a job you want. You want it?" I say, "No, dude. I'm in the middle of my semester. I can't take the job now." And then when I talk to my parent, my relative, like, "You stupid. You know why did you take it? They never call you back." Say whatever. But at like almost to the end of the semester, they call me again, like, because Irvine, I don't know, Irvine is a developed city, so they need a lot of new carrier. But whenever they have a new area, they have to have more carrier.
Mm-hmm.
They call me again, like, well, I got no choice. I guess I gotta take the job. Why gonna be our job? I need to provide an income, you know. But
Wow.
yeah, I worked mailman for 12 years. I love that job. I mean, that's why doing that is like a cakewalk for me. Cause being a mailman, you have to know everybody's name and address the end, so that way you deliver to the right people. So, and the test is very hard to get in, and
I had
so
no idea.
I love doing it. I get to a point after at the end of my career of 12 years, I got a route. I have like over 1,000 delivery. I know all their name, but the bonus thing is I got a key to the pool because there's a because I told the receptionist I need a key to the bathroom because I deliver all day long. I need the bathroom. So I
And now
took
you get
lunch.
to go for a swim.
No, I just took my sock, dipped my foot, and then cool down and eat my lunch.
You are so funny. I'm just going to answer something quick in the chat. There are some people that suggested using the badge emoji for questions. I would ask you guys not to do that for questions. I would like it if you did at Van Vida Travels, because that highlights orange for me and will catch my eye. I keep my StreamYard and my YouTube up, and the orange catches much better than any kind of thing you could type into there. So if you would just stick to at Van Vida Travels, like here Mellow Nomadic did, that showed up orange for only me. Tim, Marshall wants to know, what type of minivan are you in?
Right now, I have a 1999 Toyota Sienna. It's very old. It's a very first generation of the minivan that Toyota made. I decided to pick that because it have a little bit higher clearance than other minivan. But the downside is have less room inside. That's why you saw me do all kind of creative stuff to create more room in there with what I have in there, you know.
So I know you're still having some problems with the cylinders, aren't you?
Well, it have a 210,000 mile on it, so one of the cylinders lost compression. So it's
How
only
do
have
you
like
even
maybe
know that? How do you know one of the cylinders lost compression? How do people figure that out?
um, whenever I have a vehicle I own, you know, I always buy a little maintenance manual and I read them. You know, in the Air Force, when you fix airplane, you don't know everything. So if something break down, you take the TO. They call it technical order, short for TO, and you read them. You read the general description, and they tell you how it works and what should work together, and then you figure out what's wrong with it.
Mm-hmm.
So same thing with car.
We have another question. And I strongly encourage, this is a great time for everybody in the chat to toss out a lot of questions for Tim. And I do have another question for those that are on a phone. I mean, if you're willing to type out the whole question, you could do stars perhaps to catch my attention, but I'm really only peripheral vision looking for orange. So if you can take the time to type out the whole at Van Vida Travels, it will highlight for me. So thanks. Ambuling Adventures wants to know, what tankers did you fly and where were you stationed, Tim?
We flew in KC-135, which is a modified Boeing 707. These things are very old. They built in the 50 and 60, and they still flying right now. And I was stationed March, Arizona in Riverside, California. Well, at first, there's a weird story to that too. I joined the active duty, right? And they sent me to Offutt, Nebraska. it's the cornfield in the middle of nowhere, and it's cold and it's windy and it's miserable in the wintertime. So when I married my wife, I took her there, and the next day she woke up in the hall and look out, there's covered with snow and it's cold. Like, oh hell no, I'm not staying there. so so I pilot chase out to join the guard, from active duty to go back to California. And coincident, well, at that time they have a fighter jet F4, but they in transition and going to a tanker, KC-135, which is the same thing I worked before.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow, it's so awesome that you changed what you were doing so that your wife would be happier where you guys were living.
A happy wife, happy life.
That's right. That's what I hear anyways. I actually don't know, but I hear it. So Marshall would like to know, do you have any plans on moving to a newer model or a larger van?
If my wife decide to come and do the crazy thing I'm doing, then I will go to the larger side. If not, I will keep continuing to get older one, and then because I know the engine inside out now for this vehicle, so even if it died out on me in the middle of nowhere, I just go find another one in another state and buy them, pay in cash, and move everything over.
Well, I wonder, do you have an idea of something that might be a happy medium for when your wife wants to travel with more luxury, but you don't want to stay in hotels? Like, have you kind of thought what travel together might look like in the future?
Maybe we just do one day in the car and then another day in the hotel. Then maybe she be happy that way.
Yeah, I guess that could be some alternating. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Or stay in the park. The camp RV park. It have everything, all the amenity. Then it's a compromise.
Yeah. Well, I was wondering if you would consider like a motorhome or pulling a camper, but you want to still keep the van.
Yes, I like minivan.
Well, you get some pretty good gas mileage in there, don't you?
That's right, 24, 25 mile gallon. You can't beat that.
Yeah, that really frees up a lot of traveling, doesn't it?
Plus, if you drive as many miles as I do, you will see the pain of paying the bill for gas bill.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Ambulance Adventures says, Tim, were you at March AFB when they had the B-52s?
Oh, that's way up before my time. That's way
I have no
my
idea. Oh man. Yeah, definitely, Ray. There is a lot of freedom when you have a van. You can just kind of go anywhere. Yeah, because you won't have to worry about the size of the parking lot. You probably blend in fairly well along a street.
See, the important thing is you need to have a vehicle that somebody can work on it if it breaks down in the middle somewhere, anywhere. If you have a specialized RV, bad. If break down, it's gonna expensive to get fixed. See, like your ambulance, perfect, because you have good engine that probably everybody know how to fix.
Yeah. That is a really, really good point.
Also, the minivan, if you have an older one and you bought it cheap, it's a toss-away vehicle. If it die and it costs too much to fix it, like I said, I'm gonna go search online, buy another vehicle right in that area, and throw everything I have. That's why all my bill is nothing permanent. Is move over to another vehicle in the zip in less than half hour.
Yeah, you're easy to pack up and go.
I guess it's that military mentality is always stick with me, because nothing is permanent in the military. Because you can be called the next day, move out. You got to pack up everything and move out. So you have to be able to do that.
Yeah. I never thought of those things before. You know that I have my ambulance and I'm going to want to hit the road soon. What kind of things do you have for me or for others in the chat for advice?
know your vehicle very well. So that way, anything wrong, then you know nobody, at least you know what need to be fixed instead of just randomly give to a mechanic and they just screw you over with repair bill.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you need to learn how to service your own vehicle. Because once
Oh,
you get to tinker around your vehicle, I'll say, oh, I know that. And then when you're under it, you see what's gonna go bad soon. Instead of take a random luck, oh, I'm driving, I hope nothing break on the road.
well, I only knew how to like check my fluid levels and my tires and that I'm full of gas. It's like I don't really, I mean, with the diesel, I really don't know much. All in the back, I've done all the electrical myself, but when the only part that I have a trouble with is the motor, and you're saying I need to learn that motor.
Well, learn how it work. Like when
Yeah.
you're driving and something not doesn't behave in a certain way, then you know what might be wrong with it. Plus, there's YouTube nowadays. You just search and it will pop up with whatever the engine have problem with it. Somebody put some video out there. I mean, I learned a lot of stuff from YouTube. So I'm not a
Yeah.
genius. I don't have all the books to read.
I also have Badge on speed dial. That's right, Badge.
See,
That's one of the
Bass,
things. At
that's
least
the
I know
man.
some of
He's a man. He know how to fix all kind of stuff.
it. We have another question. Angie, Hey Your Family Adventures says she's planning on equipping her Ford Explorer for weekend adventures. What are some must-haves? Oh, this would be good for you, Tim, to answer.
Is to have to be in a venture or to be prepared if something wrong with the vehicle though,
Mm-hmm.
because you can't bring everything. But I mean, for weekend adventures, you need to have a nice bed. That's all you really need, and good blanket and plenty of
I would,
water. And
yeah, something to cook on. I mean, you and I both have those little butane stoves.
right, but if just a weekend, just on a weekend, pre-cook food from home, pack them in Ziploc bag, and you just reheat them on the weekend when you're out there, so you don't have to cook.
Yeah, I'm
It's
just
a
thinking if
hassle.
they're boondocking and they want to cook, if you can't have a
Mm,
fire, because we have fire bans here a lot where we're not allowed to have fires.
not if you cook inside your vehicle, they don't know, right?
That's right. That's right. But yeah, the bed and some kind of way to keep the air flowing in there, I think is really important.
Yeah, just need a battery operated fan. I think on my channel I have a video on the little battery operated fan with light built in, just one package, and that thing will run all night on three double A battery. They will run all,
Mhm.
and you can put rechargeable battery in there too and recharge them while you're driving.
And I think that's another thing too. Someone that's looking to do weekend camping doesn't have to have all the stuff that someone living in a van has,
No,
right? Just keep it simple as you possibly can get it. Yeah. I mean, yeah, your food, your water, pre-cooking the food is
hi
brilliant. That's
Elvie. I saw
yeah.
her question.
Huh?
I saw on van life mode. I know Elvie. She sent me the inverter from her van so I can reuse it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, on van life mode, Tim, have you decided already the main spots you're going to see on your upcoming road trip?
Like I said, I'm just gonna hit the capital from each state, and then whatever along the way, then I will see. As long as in the way I'm driving, if I have to veer off too far, then it's gonna take too much time. So
Mm-hmm.
my main spot is just capital, and then if I see anything interesting, then on the highway that I travel on, then I will stop because I have a goal of driving 400 mile a day. So that way,
That's a
yes, it's
lot of
great.
driving, Tim. Every
But that's
day for
not,
3 weeks?
yeah.
Oh, do you have anything special on your seat so your back and butt don't hurt?
Oh no, that's why I love the Sienna. The seat is built for long distance. I have no sore, no nothing. The whole time. The last leg that when I went home, I drove 12 hours straight and I didn't have no anything. It's a great
Really?
vehicle. Yes. Plus,
That
you
is
need to take break. you got to take your drive, break it down to 2 hours, because you need to eat and take
Mhm.
pit stop break anyway. So I take about 15 minutes, do break, eat something, then get back on and drive again. Because
Wow.
when I drive, I don't think it's a drive. It's like what do you call it? Just going riding along, and what's it doesn't feel that long.
I guess. I don't know. My back always gets sore. Maybe that's just me. Dale Bruce would like to know, does Tim visit military locations as he visits states?
If it's in the way, because actually that's one of the locations, safest location for me to sleep for the night if I can catch the military base. Because I retired from military, I have one of those retired card. I can go to any military base and just stay there for the night. They have
Oh, really?
commissary, yeah, commissary, which is like grocery store, and a BX, and then they have one of those shop pet that open 24 hours. So you park right next to the shop pet. Your food, your drink, you sleep right there. Nobody bother you. And if they do
Wow.
bother you, knock on me, I just show my ID card. I'm sleeping here. Go away.
At least you're always safe.
Hey, you get to sleep inside with a guard outside to get well. Can you get that kind of?
Oh, that's awesome. So, Mayhem RV would like to know if you have any kind of solar setup for when you're boondocking. That's a good question.
Well, right now I'm not boondocking, but if I do, I will put a couple of 100 watt. That's all I need because I'm very low on power uses. I don't need a lot of
Mhm.
solar because I will depend on cooking mostly on butane or fire. I have an emergency stove that I can use to cook with wood. The
Mm.
twig branches or maybe alcohol can. I can cook with that too. I have like two backup plan of how to cook food for myself. So I don't rely on electric to cook.
That's awesome. Um, Vanquish says that they try to look for things to see about every 2 hours. So that fits in with that every 2 hours kind of stop. Prairie Life says, sleeping on a base, another kind of family or community for you, isn't it?
No, you have to be. Yeah, I
No?
guess, but I have to be a little bit, like low key. You can't be letting people know you sleep in the van.
Yeah. Huh. I'm just looking to see if any more questions. Kathleen's right. You're definitely the ultimate practitioner of the KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid.
It's hard. Sometimes I build stuff like that, like, why I do that? Like, why you make it more complicated than it should be?
No, I notice when you explain stuff on your videos, you do a really, really great job. Because I have a very limited attention span and I watch your videos all the way through. That's a big deal.
Wow, thank you. Well, when I plan on make a video, I kind of like recite in my head what the viewer will need to know, because so I plan. Believe it, I never do retake. When I do my video. If I screw up, like, oh well. I just if you watch it, it's never professional.
Yeah. Well, it seems to work for you. Call Me B wants to know, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years, and wants you to know that you're a cool dude.
Thank you. uh, well, right now I have to say I'm doing this my selfish thing because for me, cause my wish is to do charity stuff. Cause I know when my mom was old, she always needs somebody to help, and she lucky that she had me. So when I'm done with my selfish stuff, I will come back to charity work around my neighbor in my community here. And if anybody want to build a van, I'm willing to hop on my meter and bring my tool and go help you.
That's part of your whole pay it forward, isn't it, too? The things, that's something that you get to offer forward.
I'm always about helping other people because seeing other people, when people that need help and you offer help and see the relief and the happiness, that's the reward for me. I don't need anything else. Sometimes my wife wonder me, why you keep helping people? No, you don't understand why.
Oh, that's so kind of you to have that in your nature. On Van Life Mode, I'd like to know, are you planning to share the videos daily? Like the last time they
You
really
bet.
enjoyed that.
That's why I told you I need to save my data so I can upload my vlog every day. And the last time I went, 7 day, every day at the end of the night, because like at night it's hard for me to drive, so I plan my stop like early, so I can sleep at 6 p.m. So 3 hours I'm sitting there editing my video, whatever I have throughout the day, and just uploading. So you got pretty much upload more like an Instagram on YouTube every day.
So where are you right now, Tim?
Oh, right now I'm in Orange County, California. I'm about 2 blocks away from Disneyland. You know how like people ooh and ah when fireworks go up? I hate that stuff every day. I see that stuff every
What?
day.
I missed that. What?
Cause like when people see fireworks, they love it, right? Cause they don't see it every day. I see fireworks every day from my window because this is like 2 blocks away from my house. Sorry, I didn't hold it high enough. That's why you didn't hear. Yeah,
I
I see that.
adjusted your mic as high as I could.
Yeah, I see fireworks every day from my house. So I hate it. It's not the fire, it's the boom that you shoot the firework every day. Boom, boom, boom. You can feel that from my house.
Oh no.
Plus
Oh,
all the traffic that I have to go through, in that area. 'Cause, tourists, they walk, they looking up. They never look down, see car coming.
oh yeah. Oh, that is
But
scary stuff, isn't it? Just like when someone's walking around on their phone and not looking at what's going on.
right. They don't pay attention.
We just got the quickest view of your wife. We can say we saw her first here.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. I'm just trying to catch up with the chat. What's this one? Oh, so living the RV local life has now kind of joined your family. Or I don't have you, but now I do. My family's in California. Are you? Oh, you're Vietnamese, correct?
Yes, I'm Vietnamese.
You would never know it, but I actually have cousins that are half Vietnamese. My auntie married a man that was Vietnamese. What this Line Cloud Adventure says, he likes, or he used to like fireworks, but now he's like you. It scares the dogs too much. Oh, that is so funny. What does this one say? Oh, didn't I click that? Oh yeah, after the show, definitely go watch the 57-second Lazy Man spring rolls. You know what? Another thing that shocked me, because I was so into, you need to do more of the cooking stuff, because a lot of that stuff I've never thought of. You know how to cook stuff on a budget, which is up my alley, and the stuff you use, I can store so easy when I travel.
Well,
So
that's the whole goal. When you're on the road, you don't have all the luxury at home, so you need to do something that's similar, but with less item, less
well,
ingredient.
personally, it's like my favorite part of the channel. Like, I don't know. I think maybe you hear people using spam more in the States than you do here in Canada, or maybe just where I'm at. But I did buy some spam to keep stored here in the ambulance because it'll stay good for a long time. And then I was like, what am I going to ever do with it? And then you did your noodles with it. And I was like, really? Spam and noodles? At first I was like, I just can't picture it. But then when I watched you cook it, I was like, well, I can do that. I'm going to try that tomorrow.
See, the spam fresh from the can is not good. You have to fry them up, make them crunchy, and it turns to something else.
Yeah, I was like, that's brilliant. Such a simple move. And you can do everything you did in that recipe all in one pot. And if you really wanted, you could eat right out of it too. That's the
That's the
kind of
whole goal.
cooking I
Because I only
want.
have one pan, so I need to do everything you do in one pan. Plus, I'm lazy. I don't like cleaning. Did you ever watch the how I clean my stuff? I don't even wash anything. I use spray bottle. So I need to.
Yeah. You have what? Water, vinegar, and dish detergent?
That's just for greasy stuff, really greasy stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I learned you can use paper towel, wipe all the greasy stuff, and then you spray. Then it won't be that bad.
Yeah. It saves on a lot of water.
Yeah.
And a lot
Like I
of
said,
gray water that you don't have to deal with. Because you're in a smaller space. That stink will
yep,
consume very quickly.
yep. That's what,
Yeah.
that's like I said, when I'm doing something, I'm thinking like, well, all these look nice and fancy, but man, that's a lot of work every day doing. Empty it out if you don't want to smell the stinky stuff.
Yeah. And it stinks faster than people think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing I really like too is your kitchen. You know, I am not a person that likes to cook, Tim. I'm going to tell you straight out that is not my favorite thing to do. But why is it that stuff fascinates me about you? Because it's like, I don't know, like your kitchen is like just simple but the perfect setup. Do you want to tell them a little bit how you have that?
The kitchen? Oh, it's
Yeah.
not my idea. I saw other people that build a chuck box. So if whatever you figure out what you need to cook, right? And then you put them together and you buy stuff that will stack inside each other. That's why it saves space. There's plenty of empty space and stuff, so you can stack everything and then it become a small box. And you can move that box wherever you want it, in the back, in the front, and then if you're a camera, put it on the bench and cook from there. And you already got all your stuff there. You don't need to hunt for stuff.
Right? I love that it's portable.
Yeah.
That is the best part. I think that's just brilliant. I really do. Because even right now in the ambulance, I'm running back and forth in and out when I want to cook outside. So I'm like,
Just build a little small chuck box. Thing that you use
mm-hmm.
the most, leave it in there. So get all the stuff that you know you use a lot, and then you build it from there to cover around it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to change something. I mean, at first, and that's the thing, a person has to find out what works for them. Because at first I thought I watched so many van life videos and having that specific kitchen built in looks so good. And then I'm like, well, that's not really how I like to do it.
Yeah, on my previous build, I have a dedicated kitchen area, small one, but every time I have to cook, I have to open the lid, drag stuff out, pull the table, fold the table, and then cook. Like, oh, that's a hassle. So that's why I went home, redesign it.
Mm-hmm.
Just fix it. If something doesn't work, go home and redesign it. Make it work for you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a nice thing about doing the build the way that you do too, because yours is simple, straightforward, it's cost effective, and everything has so many purposes that anybody can invest very little money if they do it like you do, and they can see if this is something they want to pursue.
Well, that's my whole intention. I when I put out a video, I want to make sure that a normal Joe and Jen can do it with just simple tool or power tool.
Yeah.
They don't have to have an expensive power. Buy one of those cheap $25 from Walmart power tool, and they can build what I have right now.
Yeah.
Just if anybody watch mine, you know I don't like using metal too much. The only metal you will find is screw. The rest is wood and glue.
Mm-hmm.
And if you build them a certain way, you brace them, they solid, just like use big piece of wood.
Yeah.
You save a lot of weight and it's cheap.
Yeah. I don't know. I wish I would have seen your videos sooner. I might have got away with the smaller unit, but I have heard many times from Ray that you have definitely been an inspiration to him.
Oh, thank you, Ray. He's an inspiration to me. He's living free. I am single and being free like that, you know? But now I have obligation, you know.
Happy wife, happy life. Yeah. We know. So this is another really good question. How many versions of the van build have you already done?
Oh gosh, I forgot how to track them. Must be the 10th now, and it's not done yet. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
after 3 weeks, I will find out there's stuff I need to improve on.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's the thing that's nice is you can just keep tweaking. It's affordable little changes, perfecting what works for you, right?
Right, right.
Yeah. Renee says, "Preach it, Tim." Yeah, I think anything that can get us out traveling is something that is worthwhile. If your heart is meant to roam, I think you really need to find a way to make it work. And that's one of the things I really like about your channel. It makes dreams real for so many people, the stuff that you share.
Yeah, it's. I mean, yeah, you gotta make it work for you. If you sit there and like, oh, I can't do this, you will never get nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to have a minivan to go anywhere. Get in your car and drive. As long as you got a way to cook. You don't even have to cook nowadays. There's vessels everywhere. Just test it out. Have a
Yeah.
nice blanket. Water with you. Gotta have water. 'Cause if you get stranded somewhere, you don't have water. You toasted.
Yeah,
Test
definitely
it out.
being.
Yeah, just do it the local area. There's a lot of beer in my area, but I use the iOverlander apps. It help out a lot because it show you a lot of places that you can sleep overnight without having people knock on your door or your window. It works. Good. That apps, the people that use them actually updated. And I updated. I put in a few places that I found myself that work for them.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. So then when you're done driving for a night and you're doing your video stuff, are you looking at that app then to decide how to plan your stops the next day or where you want to finish your night?
Well, I'm trying to push as far as I can, as long to reach the capital. If I can, and like I'm tired, okay, then I use the iOverland to find a place to sleep
Okay.
before it get dark.
Um,
When you get older, nighttime driving is bad for you. So you got to plan out.
well, I already am not the biggest fan of nighttime driving. And I'd like to think I'm not old. Now I don't know how to say all this. Victoria May Life Unfiltered says, Paula, would you please tell Tim I said arigato? And then I don't know what the next word is. I don't even know if I got the first word.
That must be Japanese. I'm not Japanese, sorry.
But the thought was there. I'm sure it's something nice.
It means something nice. I know. I forgot what it means.
Yeah, Red, she doesn't like to drive too much at night either. Yet we know Ray drives at night all the time. Everybody's got their own way of doing it.
Well, actually, I do drive at night, but just early in the morning. Because when I get up early, I get my coffee and then head out. So that way I don't hit traffic with people.
Ooh, very good.
Plus, nobody's on the road. You by yourself. So there's no headlight bothering you. So it's great that way. And you are ahead an hour or two ahead of your trip. So by the time you get to noon, you already covered 6-8 hours of driving.
Maybe you can do a video of the ups and downs or the pros and cons of daytime driving versus nighttime driving. Because you did a pros and cons list for, we didn't even mention this. There's a whole section on some finances that you've shared, how you paid down your mortgage fast, how you have been saving to do this. And you've got pros and cons of living in a house versus an apartment. And you lay them out very clearly to help people with that decision-making process.
Yeah, I could do the video and the driving thing. Now that you ask, thanks, Paula.
Oh, I didn't put it in the comments. Dang. You know what? This has been so much fun, Tim. I really, really want to thank you for coming up and doing this.
No, thank you, Paula, for having me. It's a
Not a
great
problem. Do you
honor.
have any questions for me or for the chat before we're done?
Mm, no, I'm a man of fewer, believe it or not.
Well, I want to thank you again. And I really want to thank everyone in the chat for coming out today. And once again, happy International Women's Day. You guys take a look at the two different links below the description of this video. One is for Tim's channel, MoBangFoYoBucks, which I think is such a cool channel name. And the other one is for Prairie Life for Karen to watch some of her International Women's Day video where you see me tear up a little bit. So good night. I will see you guys all on Wednesday where we all get to share in the surprise that Badge will be bringing me. Good night.
Bye.